Hey guys, and welcome back to Boss Wife. I'm your host, Ebony. So, tonight will be a little bit different because I am undergoing some new branding for my podcast, but I did not want to let tonight go by again without talking to you guys and communicating with you guys and letting you know exactly what was going on because I know it's not like me to miss two Tuesdays in a row. So, I wanted to be completely transparent with you guys and say, hey, I'm here, I'm still working. I have some awesome interviews lined up for you guys. I've still been batching my podcast and talking to people, meeting new people, expanding my horizon and broadening just the way I think and see things in life. And I've just been working. So don't let this fool you. I missed last Tuesday. It won't happen again. But I am back. I am here, and I am ready to communicate with you guys. So, like I said, we are definitely undergoing some new branding for my podcast. So stay tuned to what's about to happen. I have a lot of new things coming up. Definitely in April. I'll be extremely busy in April, but I'm going to make sure that I go ahead and upload my podcast for you guys so that we don't go through this again. Because if you felt anything like I felt last week, I felt so lonely and just all by myself because I didn't get to talk to you guys and I didn't get to share and communicate with you guys. So that won't happen again. Okay. So tonight's topic is about confidence versus insecurity. So let's break down and dissect that. Okay, let's dissect those areas. So in life, we have areas where we're confident and we have areas where we're insecure. Can these two things exist in the same person? Of course they can. So there are definitely some areas in life where, especially us as women, we feel more insecure or secure about things. We can have the most confidence in being a mother, a friend, being a daughter. We can be very insecure about being a homemaker. We can be insecure about the connections we have with our children or our spouses or, the abilities on our jobs or in our businesses. So there are definitely some instances in our lives where we can balance it out. Being insecure doesn't always mean that you're weak or you're an imposter or that you don't deserve what you have. It just means that it's just an area you need to build a little bit more in, right? You can actually be overconfident in some areas where you shouldn't be, but we won't get to that. We'll leave that where it is. But anyway, like I was saying, being insecure in those areas will definitely probably keep you balanced because if you have something to keep you grounded, and which I like to say, God always gives us thorns, to keep us grounded because if we didn't, we'd get the big head, we would think we're more than what we really are, and then we would be just hated, and who wants to be hated, right? So anyways, being insecure in certain areas will definitely keep you grounded. It will definitely keep you balanced out. And it shouldn't be anything that you're ashamed of because no one is 100% perfect. So let's just take a break from trying to be this Wonder Woman and being more than what we are called to be and being more than what we actually are, and just consider the things that we need to work on the most, right? So tip one for, let's just say, since we as women hold our families such to like a higher standard than we hold anything else in life, in businesses and jobs. Let's start there, okay? So to be confident as a mother, my first tip to you guys is to make sure all of your loose ends are tied up. Let's dissect that a little bit more too. So meaning we all know where we can improve as a mother, right? Don't get this statement confused with being a perfect mother. It's just because we all know that doesn't exist. But being a confident mother means you can do all you can do and make sure that you're doing everything that you know how to do to make sure that you don't feel insecure as a mother. So those moments where you feel like you want to give up, dig in a little bit deeper. The moments where life gets you down and you feel like, I'm just not called to be a mom. I'm not fit to be a mother. I feel like somebody else could do a better job. And let's just be honest, we have all these thoughts. We do, because we look at our children and we feel like I've been raising you for this long. And, at some point I feel like I failed you. And I don't know. And me personally, I don't know how not to take that personal. So that's kind of one of the biggest struggles I've been dealing with this week is not taking what my children do personally, because at the end of the day, they're their own person. They make their own mistakes. They're going to grow. They're going to learn, and they're going to evolve, and they're not us. And so we can't mandate that they do what we want them to do. So in being a confident mother, that is my first tip. Dig in a little bit deeper. Don't get sidetracked with our children growing up. Make sure there are no loose ends, like I said. So you can give extra 5 minutes at the dinner table with your kids. You can give an extra 5 minutes at the couch. Like on Sundays we watch movies together, we play games together, we even go outside and play like family football, or we go outside and play family volleyball or badminton. In those moments, I know sometimes we, especially as business women, we have to like try to account for every moment, because every moment counts when you're running your own business. But in those moments, it's about family, and it's about being a mom, and it's about being a wife. Make sure there's no loose ends by allowing the petty things to get in the way. Like, oh my God, I gotta stop because I gotta go record a podcast, or I said I was gonna be here at this time and I gotta do this. No, like, put them first. Like, if you see your daughter's in her room all day long, go in there, open the door, and say, hey, let's talk. Then if she don't want to talk, lay on the bed. Strike up a conversation. Tell her about your day. If your son is in the room, or if he's outside playing, or if he's on the game so long, go in there, sit down and talk with him. I guarantee he's going to cut the game off because you're going to be distracting him. But these are just some things that we could do to dig in a little bit deeper, and make sure that we're not leaving anything undone or unsaid. And I think a lot of times insecurity creeps in when there are a lot of things left unsaid and undone. So, as a mother, don't leave anything unsaid or undone. Finish out your day strong every single day. Sometimes it's a little bit harder than others, but it's achievable, right? So don't get distracted. Do what you're supposed to do. Like I said, we hold our families to a higher level in life than we hold anything else, because that's what's dear to us. That's what we thrive on. That's what we get up and we go for every day. Those are our purposes. So if it's your purpose, make sure that you are doing 100%. Okay, so next, tip 2. When it comes to your job, be the most educated person on your job. I know that for women, that is definitely a part of our regimen, is wanting to know it all. Well, here's your opportunity to definitely know it all. Don't be the dumbest person on your job or in your business. If you're starting a business, make sure that you're giving it 100%. Don't just go out there and start a business off the fly and just be like, oh, this is my passion. I love to do this, blah, blah, blah. No, you have to investigate. You have to dig in. You have to make sure that the person who's also doing the same job doesn't outdo you, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Like, who can guarantee me the most? Like, who can give me the most out for my buck? The most bang for my buck. So at the end of the day, when you're building a business or you're on somebody's job, be the most educated person in the room. And if you're not the most educated person, make sure that whoever's on your level is not on your level, if that makes sense. Like, I know that makes sense because it makes sense, but like, even though we're on the same playing field, I should not be on the same level as you. Either you're better at this than me, or I'm better at this than you. And no, I'm not saying compare yourself to somebody. That's definitely not what I'm saying, because we know that that is a definite confidence breaker. I'm not saying compare yourself, but what I am saying is make sure you're living up to your best ability in everything that you do. So back to what I was saying, educate yourself. As working women, do yourself a huge favor and make sure you give your job, your business 100%. Be the best at your job, so no one can say what you are not doing. Give your 100% at all times. When it's to clock out, clock out. Leave your job where it is. When you own your own business and you say, this is time that I'm setting aside for my family, set that time aside for your family. Don't focus on your business. Don't focus on whatever you got going on, any events coming up, any planning you got to do, any streaming or podcasting, or, even business meetings. Don't. If you set the time aside for you or your family, make sure you dedicate that just for that. Because let me tell you what happens. At the end of the day, we get overwhelmed, we get complacent, we get stuck. And when you get stuck, you start getting dumber. And excuse my language, I apologize for that. But you do. Like, because you don't realize that just because you're stuck, everybody else isn't stuck. Of course, we all go through different stages. We all have the same playing field, and we definitely maneuver through life kind of in the same game. But when you're maneuvering through a game, everybody's not on defense, right? We have a defense and we have an offense. You want to make sure that you're playing 100% at any part of the game that you're in. So don't get stuck. Don't get complacent. Don't get dumber. Continue to grow. Continue to move. But you can't do that without educating yourself. You can't do that without being the best at what you do. I started a business here in Chattanooga, and I have the only business that is like this in Chattanooga. So, at the current moment, I don't have competition. But when you have competition and you're on somebody else's job, let's just stick with that because I keep getting off because I'm trying to include everything. So let's just stick with having a job. So when you're on somebody else's job and you are not the only one that holds your title. Like I am a CMA, a certified medical assistant. And so I'm not the only one on my job. But let me tell you something, like my resume better speak for itself. Like nobody should be able to hold a candle to me. Yes, we're all different. And so we all come from different backgrounds, but I should be strong in the area that I work in. So for my doctor, I should be the top MA, right? So nobody should be able to come in here and do my job as good as I do it. Like if I miss a day, if I miss a week, or if I go on medical leave, or if I go on maternity leave, whatever, like your presence should definitely be missed. When you get back to work, everybody should definitely be happy that you're back because nobody should be able to replicate what you do. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't be replicable. I have to take my time to say that. But seriously, like, don't be. Like, you should definitely know what you're doing at all times. We all make mistakes. We all have off days. We all have those moments where we don't feel like being at work. We don't feel like, getting up that morning or whatever. Life hits us. Life hits all of us. But at the end of the day, nobody should be able to do you. And that's my motto. Do you or you won't be done. But make sure nobody else can do you either. Okay? Don't be easy to duplicate. You should never be able to be duplicated. Okay, so back to leaving it all at work. You don't want to be complacent. You don't want to be stressed out, overwhelmed, because when we get to this place, then it's very easy to start sliding back and start getting comfortable and, allowing things to happen. We get okay with mistakes. We get okay with not being our best. We don't want that. So again, ladies, that is my tip for you for number 2. Don't be complacent. You don't want people to think that you're a joke on your job or think that you're a joke at your business and not take you seriously. You definitely should be overqualified for whatever you're doing. Okay? So, tip number 4. Sorry, guys. Be the best you that you can be as a wife, a daughter, a sister, a friend. This part of this podcast means being the best female that you can be the best woman that you can be. I guess this kind of goes back to the guidelines of being best at your family because we hold all of these relationships very dear and close to us as well. But as a woman, you can't allow insecurities to come in and overtake you and then you deem yourself less as a woman because being a woman by itself is a huge throne to sit on. Women, we are not a joke. We cannot be, we shouldn't be able to be duplicated at anything, first of all. But as a woman, nobody should be able to come in here and take your look or your man or your children or your mother or your best friend. Like, you should be 100% at all times. I know one of my dearest friends, like, if I don't feel like I can add to the friendship, then I don't call. Like, if I'm going through something and I'm really down and I'm just really depressed and, I'm trying to just fight through the motions already of life and continue to keep on this brave face, like there's just some people I just don't call because I feel like I have a standard to uphold and it's not being fake. It's not being phony. I do give my 100% in all of my relationships, but for me to give my 100%, I have to be at a 100%. for me for some relationships, and it may not be for you guys, but that's true for me. So being at your 100% as a woman in friendships and relationships, you have to know your audience, and you can't just indulge people. And first of all, you can't tell everybody everything. Even though I have two best friends, they are totally different relationships. And I hope you guys can relate to that, because you should have the same. Like, no relationship is the same. I have one best friend that I can call and cry and just air all my dirty laundry to. Because for one thing, we've been best friends since like 8th grade. So there's really nothing she doesn't know about me. Unless I just forgot to tell her. And then it ends up coming out anyway. And she's like, girl, you didn't tell me that? Well, here it is, So, but like, some people you can just get down and dirty with. And some people, it's like, yes, I love you. I will tell you majority of my business. But it's like, just some people you just doesn't, they don't handle your stuff as well as others. To me, that's pretty deep. And that's true. Some people, they just don't handle your situations as well as others. Like, they don't handle your feelings as well as other people handle your feelings. And, like, they're not as careful with your heart. And some people don't even respect you enough for you to tell them everything anyway. And I know I keep saying and your best friend may have a best friend. Honestly, like, just because she's your best friend or he's your best friend doesn't mean that you're their best friend. So, anyways, enough for that tangent. But being the best woman that you can be is amazing. And you feel it. You feel every ounce of that power when you are an amazing woman. You carry it well, and that's one area that people can look at you and say, wow, she's very confident in who she is. And normally that's when you get that statement. And people don't have to know everything. You may be having the worst day of your life. Let me tell you something. I done threw on makeup before and did my hair up and have been broken. Like, broken down. Like, and people don't know. Now they might notice that I'm not talking as much or I'm not laughing and being as silly as much. But people don't have to know what you're going through by the way you look. And so, in that being said, your look should never look insecure. Like, don't let the world see you carrying the world. No, ma'am. They saw me carrying my baby. That's all you need to see me carry. That's it. But I don't know if I'm getting off, but whoever needed to hear that, I'm glad you heard it. But seriously, like, don't look like what you're going through. Definitely don't do that. And you don't have to be confident in that moment. You just can't look insecure in that moment, because you never know who's looking at you. We don't know who's following us. We don't know who looks up to us. And the way that we carry things, people notice it. I can't go on my job and just start crying and acting crazy because I'm having a bad day at home or because I don't like what my manager said. No, you have to live up to a certain standard. And all of that does play a part in your insecurities and your confidence, because, first of all, when you act a fool, people definitely know you're insecure. That's one sign to show people, oh, yeah, you're definitely insecure, because you're reacting to people. You're reacting to situations. Don't react. Listen, don't be a light switch. Don't let people flip you on and off. Definitely don't do that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, somebody actually was talking to me about that at work yesterday. And she said, she was just really upset about what another person did to her at work. And she said, how do you handle it? I said, I look at them and let them be who they are. Because let me tell you something. You not finna make me act crazy. I need my job. I need my job. Officer, I need my job. I need my job. I need all my coins. I do. I need every last one. So I can't afford to allow you to make me react to your foolishness. Okay? So, people, women, don't allow people to use you like a light switch. Okay? That is all about your insecurity. That is all about your confidence. And just because you're not reacting to people doesn't mean that you're insecure. And I think a lot of people get that confused. Like, oh no, you're not going to take my meekness for weakness. Just stop. First of all, you probably don't even know what meek means. But anyway, second of all, no, when you stand up and you stand up for yourself, you can very well do that professionally. Trust me, I've done it plenty of times. You will know who I am, like the Lord said. No, I'm just playing. But seriously, like, no, you can stand up for yourself and be very professional. You can get people straight told very professionally and have them feeling like they putty. You understand me? Like, make them feel lower than your feet. You can do all that in a very professional way. But when you act like a fool because somebody else is acting like a fool, like you can definitely tell you're insecure about something. So yes, you can be very confident in who you are. You can sound very confident because you yelling and acting crazy. But no, that's definitely a sign of insecurity. Don't let people play you. Don't let people get a rise out of you. Look at people, let them be who they are. Because they still gonna be who they are when you get done acting a fool. Anyway, moving on. I didn't mean to get off on that tangent either. Okay, so tip number 4. Let me move on because that job, honey. Okay, tip number 4 is be radically courageous. I talked about this the other night at the women's shelter, and it just kind of been sticking with me because I was talking to them at a time that I needed somebody to definitely help boost me and encourage me, and so they definitely did that for me. Just like you guys do it for me all the time with your comments and your quotes and everything about my podcast. Like, thank you so much for your ratings and my YouTube channel. Like, I really love it, but be radically courageous. To me, radically courageous means going above and beyond something that you would never dare to do. Prove yourself wrong. Prove yourself wrong, okay? This will definitely build your confidence. Ladies, like I said and have talked about all night, you can be insecure in some areas and be confident in others. It's totally okay. We all have that going on for us. Use it to your best ability, okay? I never thought that I was smart enough to do anything. I didn't. But at the end of the day, when I was in one of my darkest places, the only thing I wanted to do was better myself. And I couldn't do it physically. Like, I felt like I was invisible, even to myself. I never saw myself. I didn't see myself for a while, for years. I didn't see myself. Yeah, I got up, got dressed, did my hair, did my makeup, sure did, every single day, and thought I looked good. But I didn't see myself because that was a part of me that I knew I had to put on for people. And it also helped me to build my confidence at the same time in me. But anyway, back to what I was saying before that. In my brokenness, in a place where I felt deserted, the only thing I felt like I could do or I wanted to do was better myself physically by going back to school. And so I did. I went back to school and I got an associate's in medical assisting, and then I went back to school and started working on my getting a degree in sonography, so that I can do that in cardiology. Be a cardiology sonographer. I had to get that right. Probably still didn't say it right, but anyways, that's what I'm working on now. And amongst everything, 1,000 things else that I got going on, but I'm always bettering myself, and so I'm always proving myself wrong. Like, I'm always saying, and it's hilarious because even when my whole equipment failed on me a few weeks ago or like a month ago, I was done. I even posted on my Facebook. I was like, okay, I'm done. I forget it. I'm so freaking over it. Like, I was just so fed up. And somebody texted me, was like, hey, that's not you. Like, what's going on? You okay? Blah, blah. I had so many people commenting and saying, hey, man, you got this, whatever. And like, nobody knew what was going on. I was just fed up because I'm like, you know what? I've done every darn thing I can do. But at the end of the day, there's always a blessing in things. So right now I'm undergoing a rebranding of my podcast. And I just felt like every time I say I'm done, I see myself working even harder. Which at this point, for real though, I feel like after April, I'm done with a lot of things, and we'll see. Because for real, like, I'm over it. But I'm just like, sometimes the struggle gets to be overwhelming, and I know there's always gold in the struggle. I really do, guys. But sometimes you don't see it, and it's okay. It is. It's definitely okay because, like I said, there's something about me that is always going to fight. There's something about me that's always going to move and keep pushing until something happens. That old saying, pray until something happens, pray until something happens. Like, that's just who I am. Even when I say I give up, even when I say I'm over it. But being radically courageous really hit home for me because I was like, wow, like, I have done that so many times. I've proven myself wrong. Forget what other people say. I've proven myself wrong 101 times. And I love that about myself. I am very insecure about other things in my life. but I can definitely tell you my mental status, definitely 100% confident. Like but because it's been proven on paper, I feel like, like I have proven myself that I'm smart. I can do whatever I put my mind to do. I don't go after anything that I don't want. And that's just the real. Like, if I don't want it, I'm not going after it. But you best believe if I want it and you got it, bang, it's OV for you. But I'm just saying, like, seriously. But anyways, so yes, that's my tip for number 4. Be radically courageous. Prove yourself wrong and watch your insecurities like completely disappear about some things. Like I said, we all have insecurities. We can all be confident in some things and insecure in some other things. And that is totally okay. That's life. That's how life goes. We all have something to work on. And if we didn't have things to work on, we would feel like we're perfect. And we would be a freaking butthole to everybody. And we know everybody knows somebody that's arrogant and pompous. So, let's just boo those people silently. Don't react. Just be like, okay, yeah, that's what's up. Okay, tip number 5. Move like a chessboard. So we all know playing chess is very strategic. So your life should be like a chessboard. Don't move. Don't make a move in life unless you got this whole thing planned out. Don't jump out. Don't jump out into deep waters if you can't swim. Don't be like my children. Let me tell you something. My children love water so much, they all pretty much almost died. Like, and I'm not even joking. Like, it's not even an exaggeration. I think I was in water so much when I was pregnant with all of my kids. Like, they just came out water babies. Like, they love water. And I can give you an example of all 4 of my children diving into a pool or a lake or an ocean and couldn't swim, and I thought I was gonna lose my life. Like, what are you doing? And but anyways, like, don't dive into life like that. You gotta know that you go swim. Don't sink. If there's a move that you about to make in life and if you don't have 100% knowledge about this move, don't do it. This goes back to educating yourself. Educate yourself before you make any moves in life, because they will make or break you. And then those moments is what brings those insecurities that we feel like we can't fight off. But in all reality, you caused that. Like, so don't cause yourself any more extra heartache and pain than what life is already going to bring to you. Just think about whatever you're getting ready to do and make sure you've planned it out. You've thought it all the way through. And 9 times out of 10, me and I'm the only people who don't think things all the way through. So listen, like I said before, being a woman is a throne all by itself, honey. So use your throne. We are already born queens. We know this. It ain't nothing that anybody got to tell us. So use your power and use it correctly. Use it efficiently and use it very wisely. Okay? So, yes, there are going to be some times where you want to be spontaneous. You want to go do stuff. That's totally fine. I'm talking about life altering moves. Okay? Don't quit your job. I got about 4 businesses that I'm trying to run, and I am not quitting my job tomorrow. I promise you I'm not. Like I said, I need all my coins. Okay, I need my purse to be good and saturated before I make any kind of moves. But seriously, if for those of you who have a backing and you're able to quit a job and you're able to pursue your dreams fully, I am 100% behind you. But guess what? You already thought that out. Nobody's going to put their family in harm's way or, not be able to feed your family because of a dream that you're chasing. That's something totally different. Women, like, if there's a position on your job that you want, or if there's a business you're trying to start, or there's a car that you want to go get, if there's a purse you want to go get, think stuff through. Don't make life-altering decisions without thinking it through. Don't plan a whole trip to the Key West and you don't even know how you're gonna pay your bills next month. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like I said, that brings insecurities again that you, girl, gonna be real hard to fight off. Okay, I make moves, and then I'm like, let me just So I'll make a move, or I'll want to make a move. Let me say that, and then I'll dissect that move 5 or 6 different ways before I actually step out to do what I want to do. Now, yes, we can plan stuff out, and we can, make sure we got all of our little ponds where they're supposed to be, and then life happens. That's totally different. That's not what I'm saying. Life is always going to happen. You always have to be prepared, and sometimes we're not prepared for what life throws at us. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the things that we can control, think it through, think it out, but make sure you're moving in an upward position and not backwards, because some things that we can do will definitely cause us to take, when we're trying to make one step forward, it'll cause you to take 5 steps back, and you don't want to do that. So just make sure everything is strategically planned out. Move like a chessboard, okay? Don't leave anything untied. Just make sure you've thought it through. Everybody's on board, whatever you're planning to do, and make sure that you have a backup for your backup. That's all I'm saying, okay? So, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for having so much patience with me. Oh, and guys, the interviews that I've been doing, oh my God, they're amazing. And I just didn't want to do them I didn't want to not do them justice. I did do one a few weeks ago, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my disclaimer out there. It was when I was having problems with my podcast equipment. And so I could have adjusted some things, and I didn't get a chance to. And then I thought everything was working. It was awful. It was awful. But I'm going to play it for you guys anyway. The sound is off a little bit. You can definitely hear all the friction. So on my end, not my interviewer's end, but on my end. And but it was so amazing. And I'm just sitting on this interview, and I'm like, oh my God, should I play it? Should I not play it? I'm going to play it for you guys. I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel. So be looking out for that. Because like I said, that's a part of life. That's what I'm talking about now. Life throws you curveballs that we're not always prepared for. But guess what? You got to move with them. You got to move with the punches. You got to be able to roll with the flow. And I'm definitely good at that. I haven't always been, but I am now. So anyways, like I was saying, the people that I've been interviewing, these amazing women that I've been interviewing, I'm so excited to share these with you. So all of April is pretty much already done. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 more to interview, maybe 1, I think, first week tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, you don't have to hear my thoughts. But, so yes, so be looking out for those. I'm super excited about what's about to happen for my podcast and my website. Also, guys, I've also started a Facebook page for my podcast, but it's under my business name, which is purposeful thinking. Oh my goodness. Purposeful Thinking 360 podcast. Facebook page. So Purposeful Thinking 360 is what you can find. Is where you can find my podcast, all of my events. I'm also working on a membership studio for you guys. Super excited about that. Super excited about my digital products that I have coming out. I have a lot of stuff going on, which is why I was after April I'm done, but you guys know I'm not done for real. But yes, I'm super excited about that. So things are really taking off. Things are really looking up. Some new marketing stuff is going on. So, I'm still planning on quitting my job in the next year, because remember, last year I gave myself 2 years, so I got a year left. So hopefully, everything gets booming and moving, and I'm my own woman. I'll be free of the man's world. No, I'm just joking. But anyways, thank you so much, guys, for listening and sticking with me. Thank you to all my new listeners. Thank you to all my old listeners, my family, my community. You guys, thank you just for being with me through everything, because I know I can be all over the place when I'm talking sometimes, and because I just want to get it all out, and thoughts come to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, but anyway, it's just like talking to a girlfriend with you guys. I love you so much again, and I will talk to you guys next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.